Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience and us tuning in online around the world. Thanks to our friends at iHeartRadio. We're glad you all could be with us as well. One of the things that we hear about a lot, of course, when it comes to those who are on medication is the cost. Well, concealing healthcare prices from the American consumer is about to be a thing of the past, and that's because of a major development that recently took place that will help any informed patient save a lot of money on their medicine. Joining us to discuss this historic price transparency initiative, we're excited to welcome Cynthia FIsher to our program. Cynthia is the founder of PatientRightsAdvocate.org. She's going to talk to us about what you all can expect from this and how you can find out more information. Cynthia, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, the pleasure's definitely all mine. Well, this is a big change for those individuals, of course, who are normally having to do with the cost of medicine. So what will this change mean for the consumer, Cynthia, because of this action that's been taking place?
Well, I'm just overwhelmingly overjoyed to share with you, Cyrus, since the last time we spoke, is this opportunity that the Trump administration has created a major win for the American consumer of healthcare. Coming January 1st of 2021, that's just right around the corner of next year, hospitals are going to have to show and post online their real prices, both the discounted cash prices and all of their negotiated rates, so that we as consumers will know what we're going to get and at what price. And better yet, we're going to be able to have competition be unleashed, and we're going to be able to shop online and with our feet, not just with hospitals, but as of last week, the Trump administration did the second part of an executive order, final rule, which is starting next year, 2022, insurance companies are going to have to show their negotiated rates for everything. So that means anywhere that there's pricing in healthcare, from knowing what the price of a knee brace is, to a colonoscopy, to a knee replacement. Anywhere we get an MRI or anything, we're going to be able to know in advance before we get care what our own insurance companies are going to cover, what the hospital charges are, and also we're going to be able to compare insurance companies' performance within their own clients and plans and across plans. And we're going to see prices across this country. That means that what the Trump administration is delivering as really the president's health plan is the free market in healthcare. And we'll have competition and a functional marketplace empower the American consumer to be in charge, that will be in control of our health decisions and our savings. This is a huge win for the American people, and our organization, PatientRightsAdvocate.org, has been bringing American stories from around the country on the problem and the solution of what the free market will do to lower the cost of care and coverage.
And Cynthia, this is work that you've been really advocating for quite some time. I remember that from even prepping for this segment initially. So, I mean, I think when it comes to this issue, I mean, that is one of the big things for a lot of people when it comes to, their medication, being able to take care of themselves, is the cost. How significant a problem has it been, have you noticed, in the past when it comes to the surprise bills that so many people get when it comes to getting care?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because there's even a third component to an administrative action that the Trump administration just put forth, and that is to stop the surprise billing by two ways. One is to have price transparency. That's, being able to see prices before we get care and us being able to shop. Seeing that in advance will help stop the surprise bill, because there are going to be no surprises if your anesthesiologist or your radiologist or wherever you get care, within a hospital, out of a hospital, has to let you know the price before you go. The second part of, which is yet the third part of their executive order, is that they have to post what their billing practices are, so that we don't get these confusing bills, weeks and sometimes even months fragmented and in pieces long after the event. It's going to start to look more like when we go to a restaurant. We get a menu, we know the price, we choose whether we want the Wagyu beef or the hamburger, right? We choose to get the care we want at prices we know we can afford. And then that bill, just like when we're at a restaurant or in the grocery store, the receipt and the bill needs to match the price that we were quoted in the first place and be very simple. And when they have to post their billing practices, we're going to see the elimination of waste, price gouging, overcharging, mischarging, and even fraud. I mean, this is huge. You can imagine what it's going to do by empowering the consumer.
So true. We invite our audience to go to patientsrightsadvocate.org, and again, it's patientsrightsadvocates.org for more information. Cynthia, always a pleasure to speak with you, and thank you so much for sharing this new information. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Cyrus. And just know, whatever happens after the election, this is a 90% issue that all Americans want, to know prices before we get care. And I think whoever's the president and whatever administration is in post-election, that this will be very difficult to unwind, because what the Trump administration did is give what 90% of Americans want. And I'm very optimistic moving forward about the lowering the cost of care and coverage through consumer empowerment. Thank you, Cyrus.
You are more than welcome. Thank you, Cynthia. And you're right. That's something that's definitely going to benefit everyone. So I know our audience is going to really appreciate having this information. Again, patientsrightsadvocate.org is that website. For those joining us via the podcast, we'll make sure that we link that up for you guys. Great information for you all to know, especially when it comes to what's available for you now when it comes to knowing the cost of these procedures. We thank you all for being with us for this episode of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make it a great one.